Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Oshin and I'm not a financial advisor. In the series of videos ahead, we'll be taking a good look at investment opportunities that we have around us. We are starting this video or this series with stocks. Now, first question you should ask yourself is this: what are stocks? Now, a stock is a type of investment that represents an ownership share in a company. Investors buy stocks that they think will go up in value over time or to earn dividends. So, for example, you could decide that you want to buy the Apple stock because yes, it's a good company. The value is going to go up over time, and then you're going to sell that stock, the Apple stock, and earn money. Or you could decide you want to buy the Apple stock and earn dividends from owning the share of the company. You could also decide you want to be heavy on dividends and decide to buy a company like Coca-Cola that pays dividends, or Restwood that pays dividends. You could decide to go strictly on growth stocks like Amazon that don't pay dividend, but over the years I've had the shares or the price of their shares skyrocket. Same with Tesla and a lot of other companies out there, Adobe, Netflix, Roku, and all of that. Now, how do stocks work? Companies sell shares of their business to typically raise money. They then use that money for various initiatives: research, growth, products, servicing debts, and all of that. Now, companies typically begin to issue shares in their stock through a process called initial public offering, or what we typically know as IPO. So we've seen companies across the world IPO. We are all aware of when Jumia actually IPO'd in the US, I think in 2016, thereabout, when Tesla IPO'd in the US in 2010. All right, so you could invest in stocks that are on NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, or the Nigerian Stock Exchange, even though I have issues with the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and I'll be explaining that in future videos. Now, building a stock portfolio is really important. And how do you go about building your stock portfolio? The best way to get started is to open an investment account with an online brokerage company. There are lots of them right now. We have them around and we'll be looking at them shortly. Now, one, you need to decide how you want to invest. You could decide to use a financial advisor to invest for you and you pay him or her some form of fees. Or you could decide to do the research by yourself and invest by yourself without a financial advisor. The next thing you want to do is to open an investment account with any of the online brokerages, which we'll be looking at shortly. You set a budget for your stock investment. So for example, if your risk level is high, you could decide to say you want to have your stock investment take up 70% of your portfolio because you are still young. Let's say you're in your 20s, you have nobody depending on you. You could decide to take much more risk and be heavy on stock investment. The fourth thing you want to do is to fund your investment account with the money that you need to start buying the stocks. And the fifth thing is to buy your stocks or the shares. They could be individual stocks of companies like Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Adobe, or they could be ETFs like the Vanguard, the Atch Invest ETF, and things like that. The sixth thing you want to do is to focus on the long term. Do not think the stock market is for the short term. Stocks will always go up, come down, go up, come down. But you have to have the long-term mentality. 5 years, 10 years down the line, you will see the benefit as long as you invested in the right companies. And I've said it several times. To look for companies that you want to invest in, you need to look out for three major things. One, the management of the company. Two, does the company innovate, or is it just a dry company? Do they not innovate? You need to you need to search out that it needs to be innovative. And the third thing, the company has to have excellent balance sheet, meaning its assets must outweigh its liabilities. We know what happened this year because of the pandemic. A lot of companies were badly hit because they couldn't earn. We found some of those companies going to the stock market to raise capital or borrowing funds from institutions and private investors. Right? So you need to look at that. Companies that had good and strong balance sheets didn't need to do that. The likes of Microsoft, Apple didn't need to start raising funds because they were not earning, right? And the seventh thing you want to do is manage your stock portfolio and balance your portfolio. So let's say, for example, you have a portfolio with 5 stocks. They all go down and come up at different rates, but you apparently have a particular stock or a particular share outpacing the rest. You need to sell some of those shares and put them in the other companies that you have, or buy a share of another company, or buy some shares of another company. This way, you sort of balance your portfolio, and if that company is hit, you don't lose the funds that you have earned. Basically, you don't earn, or you don't have the cash of a stock that you still own until you sell it, right? So you need to be able to do that as you proceed. The next thing, we said we're going to look at the online brokers that make you buy your stocks or your shares. We have Trove, we have Chaka, we have Trading 212, we have eToro, and of course we have Bamboo. To know more about investing with Bamboo, click on the card above. I've done a video, and a very extensive video, on how to invest in the stock market using Bamboo. Bamboo happens to be my favorite, right? So please click on that card up there and watch the video. All right, so let's take a quick stock analysis here. If I had, it's something we all say, if I had known, I would have. Now let's take a few samples of these companies here. Let's look at AMD, for example. AMD currently has a share price of $76.34. 37% of analysts say it's a buy. You see here, it has lost 4% this month. In the quarter, it has gained 37%. And in 1 year, September 2019 to September 2020, it has gained 167%. And in 5 years, AMD has increased by 3,980%. Meaning, if $1,000 was put into this stock 5 years ago, it would have become $39,800 just in 5 years. Now, this points to you that if you invest in right companies, you will be fine. Now, let's look at the annual growth over 5 years, spreading out the growth. We see Adobe System has made 44.11%, which is higher than the 12.5% inflation rate that we currently have. I went to the supermarket a few days ago. I wanted to buy noodles. Now, I bought the chicken, the onion noodles, that's the green one, was now selling for 2,750 naira as against the 2,150 naira I previously bought it for. You see that? There's also a cereal that we buy for 2,900 naira. The same period, I went to the supermarket and that cereal now sells for 3,600 naira. Inflation is real. Now, if you are the type that constantly saves your money and you don't invest, the value of your money is going to keep depreciating over time, and that's what's simply happening. I advise that you go through this list to know exactly what you could have earned with a particular amount of money Now, that money would have been a lot better. If you look at all of them, the annual growth over 5 years, majority of them are above the current inflation rate that we're experiencing in Nigeria. Also, I put here for those that pay dividends, I put the dividend yields there, the market cap, and the short-term, mid-term, and long-term outlook for each of these companies here. You could go outside of these companies and do your own research for various companies. The R simply means red, meaning in the short term, you could lose money, and most stocks are like that right now. In the mid-term, you could either lose or you could gain money. And you also have some that have a neutral outlook. But majority in the future, you should gain. Now let's take a deeper look at 3 stocks. The first one in this case is Amazon, ticker symbol AMZN. Date of IPO was May 1997. The share price when it IPO'd was $18. The share price today is $3,116.22. In 1997, $1 was 21 naira 89 kobo. $1 today is 453 naira. Now, considering the dollar to naira value of 453 and also the growth in the stock from $18 to $3,116, today the value in naira, if you had just one stock of Amazon, would have been 1,411,647 naira 66 kobo. As at 1997, $18 was 394 naira 2 kobo, meaning 394 naira became 1.4 million naira. Guys, that's all within a space of 23 years. 394 naira became 1,411,000. The second stock here is Tesla, ticker symbol TSLA. Date of IPO was June 2010. The share price when it IPO'd was $17. The share price today is $372.72. Bear in mind that Tesla also did a 5-to-1 stock split. Click on the card above to see my Tesla video and watch exactly what Tesla is all about. $1 to a naira in 2010 was 145 naira. $1 today to naira is 453 naira. Value today in naira for the Tesla stock would have been 844,210 naira 80 kobo. Bear in mind, the $17 in 2010 was 2,465 naira. One stock would have become 5 stocks, and the dollar rate in today's value is 453 naira to a dollar. 2,465 naira would have become 844,210. Can you imagine if you had saved that money? What the value of 2,465 naira would have been? See that, guys? Ridiculous. Now, the third stock and final stock we'll be looking at is Apple. Ticker symbol APPL. Date of IPO was December 1980. Share price IPO'd at $22. In today's value, after the stock split, 0.12, that's 12 cents. The share price today is $112. 1 naira to a dollar in 1980 was 0.55, meaning $1 was 55 kobo, guys, in 1980. Today, $1 is 453 naira. The value in today, if you had one stock of Apple would have been 11.3 million over a span of 40 years, guys. And part of the reason for this is because Apple did a 4-to-1 stock split this year, a few weeks ago, a 4-to-1 stock split, and that was his 5th time he was doing a stock split. So one share of Apple, if you had bought one share of Apple in 1980, by this year you would have had 224 shares of Apple as a result of the stock split. I also did a video on Apple. Click on the clickbait above to see the video on Apple. the Apple stock split. So guys, 12 naira as at 1980, 12 naira would have become 11.3 million naira, assuming we bought only one stock. Thank you very much for watching this video, and like I always say, please hit the like button, share this video. Someone might just need to share this video, subscribe to this channel, click on the notification bell, and please invest safe. See you on the next video where we'll be talking about bonds.